Today we have scales and arpeggios and exercises that you should be playing every day. Start your practice with technical exercises. We're going to start with the chromatic scale. We're going to start on low E, and it will be helpful to name the notes so that you get to know your fretboard better, and also be aware of the tone that you're playing. Try to have a nice, clear, beautiful tone to your notes. So here we go. E, F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A sharp, B, C, C sharp, D, D sharp, E, F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A sharp, B, C. And then of course go down. Trying to utilize all four fingers in this hand. Sometimes you have to slide on a note because there's actually 5 notes you're playing and there's only 4 fingers. You can figure it out. Now I'm going to play 16th notes, so now I'm trying to increase the dexterity of my right hand. Same scale, of course. Playing 4 on each. Then you go down, of course. Being aware of your tone, so you can hear the pitch of the notes. So this hand I'm doing alternating fingers. Okay, now we're going to graduate to a major scale. We're going to start on G. It's the low note there. It's good to have your thumb on the lower part of the neck. You don't want to do this. You want to be down here. It gives you more leverage. Also, it's good to have your bass high up. I've seen some players even that high. Again, you have more leverage on the instrument. So here's the major scale, G major. And again, you go slow. Of course, go down. Then you can do the 16th note pattern again. And so the scale degrees would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now we're going to play the Mixolydian scale. This scale is just like the major scale, except it has a lower 7th. So the scale would be utilized if you saw a G7 chord. 1, 2, 5, 6, lowered 7. You can just play single notes. Now we're going to do the G Dorian scale. This is a minor scale. It has a lower 3rd and a lower 7th. I like to play the lower 3rd down there. Some people play it up here. I think it works better going down here. Also gives your hand a nice stretch. You want to develop that stretching capability. So 1, 2, flat 3, 4, 5, 6, flat 7, 8. Okay, those are the three most common scales used in popular music, jazz, you name it, classical music as well. Okay, now we're going to graduate, and of course you do all this in all 12 keys, right? We just did it in one key. Then when you got done with G, you'd go to A flat and do the same patterns. Right, now you'd be knowing the key of A flat. There's our A flat Mixolydian, A flat Dorian or minor. And then you graduate to A and so forth. And eventually you'd be up here and you might want to graduate to the next string. Right, that would be C. And of course you can increase the speed as you get more familiar with all the scales. Always be pushing yourself from a technical standpoint. Okay, now we're going to play arpeggios. Arpeggio is just taking a chord and breaking it up into single notes. And in essence, we're spelling the chord. So in the case of G major 7, it's G, 1, major 3rd, 3, 5, major 7. Right, those are the four tones of G major 7. If I had a G7 chord, I'd have a lowered 7th, 1, 3, 5, lowered 7th. And when the 7th is lower, they just call it the 7th for some reason. But when the 7th is normal, they call it major 7. Right? So this is major 7, and they would just call it 7. It's actually much more common than the major 7. Perhaps that's why. Then we have a G minor 7 chord, G, 1, minor 3rd, flat 3, 5, flat 7. Okay? So those are the three most common chords you'll see. And of course you do all those things in all 12 keys. So A flat, major 7, A flat 7, A flat minor 7. So what makes the bass a little easier than other instruments is the fingerings are all the same. Fingering patterns are the same no matter what key you're in. If you're in G, right, if you're in C, so you really only have to learn one fingering pattern for each scale. On the piano, you have to learn 12 different fingering patterns for each major scale and all those scales. So you can see that it's a little more complicated. So then, how do we make use of these patterns? Well, here's a simple rock pattern that's extremely common. We'll do it in G, so you go. So I'm playing two notes, or two iterations on each note. So it's 1, 3, 5, 6, 7, and go down the same way. And then you might do the same thing in C, and then go back to G, and now we're going to go up to D. Right, and there were some variations in there, of course. We didn't just stick to the pattern. We could have if we wanted to. Depends on the song. But that's a very common pattern. And it's actually pretty taxing when you get going fast. And so forth. So that's a common way that these arpeggios and scales are put to use. And of course there are infinite variations, but That's a pretty common progression that I just played. Thousands of songs use that. I think that's the end of our lesson for today. And I will see you next time.